All right, welcome back, the genius. So let's talk about IDLE, VS Code, and then we'll also talk about variables and data types in Python. Okay, so this is the discussion of this class. I hope that this class will not be too long, but I'll try my best not to make it too long. Okay. So the objectives, by the end of this week, you should be able to, this is the week 2, you should be able to understand what IDLE is and VS Code, what they are and how to use them. You would write and run your Python code in both environments. Okay. You would also understand variables and data types, strings, integers, floats, and Boolean. So in case you're using your phone, okay, in case you're using your phone, follow the playlist. There is a playlist, 365 days of Python. All right, mobile friendly. There is a playlist on my channel. Follow that playlist. Okay, 365 days. Follow that playlist. You would also get how to do it. As long as you have PyDroid, you can code along. Whatever thing I'm doing here, as long as you have PyDroid or any other code editor on your mobile phone or your tablet, you can do exactly whatever I'm doing here. Okay. So we are also going to learn how to accept user input and store it in variables. All right. So you're also going to build a very simple about me program that where you'll be asking users about them and they tell you things about them and you print it out. So that will be the project for this week. Okay. So the book you're going to learn, I don't know if you have gotten this book, the Python for Kids. Okay, you'll be reading chapter 2. Okay, so but if you've not gotten it, please just type in the comment section. Tell me that you want the book. Then I will send you my WhatsApp number. I will reply with my WhatsApp number. Then you can DM me and I'll send you the book. Okay. So, chapter 2 of this book covers what variables are, how computers store information, and then the naming rules for variables, combining how to combine text and numbers. We are also going to do it here. You'll see how we combine text and numbers, especially when we are getting it from a user. So we'll also be printing some variables. This book also shows you how to do that. It also tells you about basic data types, but we are not going to discuss all the data types. We're just going to discuss the basics. Okay. So this chapter also sets the stage for writing simple interactive program. For now, this is just your second week. We'll just take it step by step. Don't worry, you're going to be an expert, but let's take it step by step, okay? So now let us understand the IDLE. So how do you open the IDLE? Let me show you something, okay? So let me just so if you um click on your Windows button, your start menu. All right. Now I have clicked on my start menu. So I can just come in here. Once you have installed IDLE, once you have installed Python, IDLE comes with it. I'll just say IDLE. Look at it. It's showing me IDLE Python 3.1464-bit. So just click on it. It would open. Okay, it's opening. There are a couple of things I would want you to do. Okay, there are a couple of things I would want you to do. So first of all, you can see that if you open your own might not be as bold as my own. Okay, what you can do is go to Options, Configure IDLE, then look at the font size. Look at the font size. Okay, you can make it more than whatever it is right now. So use the font size. If I make it 20, all right, and then I click on apply, you can see it is bolder. So you can use this size. This is the font size. All right, you can actually use it to make your IDLE bolder. So look at it. If I also go back to option configure, all right, if I make it something like let's say 10, okay, and I click on apply, you can see it's smaller now. Okay, it's smaller. So you can make it 18 or 20. Let me take it to 20 because I'm teaching. I would apply and then click OK. So now, whatever I'm doing here, it will be very bold for you to see. Okay, it will be very bold for you to see. All right, so that is the IDLE. And then another thing you can also do is this. Okay, when you open your IDLE, it's going to be here. Okay, what you can do is that you can right click on it. All right. If you right click on it, it will say pin to taskbar. Pin it to taskbar. Once you pin it to taskbar, you don't need to be going to your start menu to search for it again. Once you click it to pin it to taskbar, it will always be here, even though when you close it. So if I let me close this IDLA now. I've closed it, but it is still here. I don't need to go to my menu, my start button again to look for it. I will just come here and double click on it. It would open. Look at it. It has opened. Oh, I did it. I double click. So that's why it opened two times. Okay. So now this is the IDLE, how to configure it and please make it to be bigger. So let's talk more about it in the slide. What is IDLE? IDLE stands for Integrated Development and Learning Environment. So this is the Integrated Development and Learning Environment for Python. You see, if you want to learn Python, this IDLE comes with it. You would also be hearing IDE, all right? IDE is Integrated Development Environment. But for this Python now, they just added L to it. So it will now be Integrated Development and Learning Environment. So this ideally helps you to learn Python, especially as a beginner, okay? So it comes bundled with Python and it is great for beginners. You don't have to install it differently. Once you install Python, it comes. I believe most of you already have it. So the features of IDLE, it has the PowerShell for quick testing. Now look at if I once you open the IDLE, this is the shell. You will see this three angle brackets. So if I want to do something very quick, if I want to say what is 9 times 8, once I hit enter, it will tell me it's 72. If I say 5, if I want to do 5 plus 9, it will give me 14 right away. So even if you're using PyDroid or any other editor on your phone, you would also look for a way to get to your interpreter. This is the interpreter, okay? Look for a way to get to your interpreter, okay? So this allows us to do something very quick, okay? Now, we also have a test editor. We also have test editor. In the last class, as I was ending, I did something. So you can also, with the IDLE, you can create a test editor. How do you create a test? You just create a file. So what if you want to create a file, click on this file, click on new file, okay? Then you can type whatever you want to type in here. Okay, you can type, I can ask the user for their age, and I'll say don't worry, I'm going to, some of you will be surprised on what I'm doing here, but don't worry, I'm going to explain the reason why. I can say, what is your age? Okay. And then I will print um you are you are okay. This is somehow what I'm going to do is somehow advanced, but don't worry, you're going to learn it. I'll say you are age years old. Okay, so if I save this now, it's going to go to somewhere in my folder. So just the last time we saved it, oh my God, I can't even remember where we saved it. Um, I saved this somewhere in my desktop. I created a folder. So just make sure, please make sure you have a folder where you're working, all your stuff will be in. I created a folder, didn't I? Oh, I thought I did. I thought I did. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to create a folder here. I'll call this folder 52 weeks Python. Okay, then inside of this, I will open it. Then it is inside of here. I will now call this, I'll call it week. I'll call this file week_2.py. week_2.py. So every Python file must end with .py. This .py you're saying is the extension. Every file in your computer has an extension. Your your music has mp3 your videos have .mp4, your images has .png, .jpeg. So every file in your computer has an extension, okay? Extension name, and .py is extension name for Python. So I'll go on and click save. Now this program is saved now in my 52 weeks Python, and the name of the file is week_2.py. So if I want to run now, I can click on this run. All right, I can look at the file is what is open. It's not my The file is what is open here. So I can click on this run and click on run module, or I press F5. So whether I click this one or I go on and press F5 on my keyboard, this will run. So if I press F5, oh, sorry. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. There's an error in my code. So I will need to convert, okay, there is no need for my conversion here since I'm using string here. Okay, sorry about this. There's no need for my conversion here, but this might not be really, this is not the best way I can write this code. So since I've removed look at the way my code is, make sure that your own is like this. Look at what the things I removed and remove it too. So if I click on F5, it says, what is your age? What did I do? Oh my God, sorry. I was doing print instead of input. Oh, sorry about that. Please forgive me. And I will save it. I will click, instead of print, please, is input, because I want the input from a user. I will use the input method. So I say, what is your age? I will say 78 is my age. And if I hit enter, it says you are 78 years old. Okay. So now this is like a file. We have saved our program in a file. And basically, this is most as you grow. All right, this is how you'll be writing. You'll be saving most of your applications. In short, most of your programming work or coding will be saved in a file. Okay. All right. So I've shown you how to use the text editor. All right. Then you can also run programs. Once you have created your file, written your program in your file, you will save it. Then click F5. If you don't save it, all right, it will tell you to save it first before running F5. Okay, so it also shows you syntax highlighting. It also show do auto indentation. Don't worry, as we go on, you're going to see what I mentioned indentation in the last class, but you're going to see auto indentation. So this is what we mean by syntax highlighting. So you can see now, you can see that all these guys have different colors. Okay, and if I want to do something else, if I want to write, if I say um if I go on and say do something like this, you might not understand what I'm doing now, but it's okay. If I go on and say if age is greater than or equal to, don't worry, you will still learn about this. Okay, it's greater than or equal to 23, do something. So you see, this has given me the indentation. All right, this has given me the indentation that I want. Okay, so the shell will give you auto indentation. It is designed this way to help you to program well. So you ideally also have Python shell. All right, like a calculator for Python. The Python shell is like a calculator for Python. Okay, I've shown you. You saw me do 5 plus 4. You saw me do some arithmetic there. So like a calculator, the Python shell is like a calculator to Python. You can type a command and get immediate results. You saw me do that. Okay. So we also have the editor window, which is what I just showed you now. You can write long programs and save them as files. Example, about_me.py. In my own, I did week_2.py. All right. So you can use the editor, click on file, new file, or you can even open an already existing file too. Okay. So how do you open IDLE? I basically have shown you how to open IDLE. After installing Python, you will search for IDLE on your PC. Just click on the menu, the start menu. All right. Then in the search box, type in IDLE, search for IDLE. You will see it, open it, or click on it to open it, and you see your Python shell. That's exactly what we did. But right now, we no longer have it. We have already pinned it to taskbar. Okay. So what is VS Code? All right. We are not using VS Code, although I use VS Code, but I will not be using VS Code for this class. I'll be using the IDLE. But in case you want to use VS Code, VS Code is another powerful professional code editor widely used in the tech industry. All right. It is more powerful than IDLE. So if you're interested, all right, if you're interested, just type in the comment section. Tell me to make a video on how to install Visual Studio Code, and I will make a short video for you. Okay, and then make sure you subscribe to the channel so that once I post it, once I upload the video, you will get a notification. Okay, so why do you need to use VS Code? It has a better interface than IDLE. So let me open VS Code here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my desktop. I will go to the 52 weeks Python. Okay, I think this is the other folder I was looking for. Oh my God. Okay, this is the other folder I was looking for, the weekwam.py. Okay. So I will just have to take this file. I will have to take it. I will cut it from here, and then I will take it. I'll put it inside. Let me delete the folder. I'll put it inside here. So I think this will be better for me. All right. So I have it here. Okay. So I will go back and sorry about this. I'll just go back and delete this folder. So now open the whatever folder if you name it 52 weeks Python, fine. Whatever you name it. All right. I would open my folder. Then I'm going to right click because I have Visual Studio Code. I just want to show you what Visual Studio Code looks like. I'll click on show more options, and then I will open with code. So this program is going to open. All right. So this is the week 2 code we just wrote now. So you can see it has more, it looks better. Okay, it looks nicer. It looks nicer than okay, it looks nicer than the what's it called again? The IDLE. So basically, this is what I use to code. Okay, I don't use IDLE, but in this class, I will be using IDLE. All right. So it has better interface. It has extensions for Python, for debugging, for Git, for DIMS. It just has a whole lot. Okay. So if you want me to make a video on how on Visual Studio Code, how to download it, how to work with it, the extension and everything, just type in the comment section. If I get up to at least 20 people asking for it, I will make a video for it. So it has integrated terminal. Let me show you the integrated terminal, what we mean by integrated terminal. So now, if I click on this, it will bring out terminal. I will click on new terminal. It gives me integrated terminal here. So I can just say Python. If I want to run this week 2.python, I will say week_2.py, and I hit it. It will ask me, what is your name? What is your age? I'll say my age is 90. I hit enter, say you are 90 years old. So you can see the same program has been run here on the terminal. But don't worry, if you don't use Visual Studio Code, IDLE is still okay. All right. So it has autocomplete, IntelliSense. You might not understand what this thing means, but this is the reason why it is better than IDLE. Okay, so if you want to work with Visual Studio Code, you can just Google Visual Studio Code download. Just go to Google, search for Visual Studio Code download. They will direct you on how to install it. Once you install it, okay, you can install Python extensions. You can install Python from python.org. That is where you install it. So, but I'm not going to talk about that. Like I said, we already have the IDLE. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about VS Code here. So you open a folder for your project, you create a new file and stuff like that. But like I said, this is not, this is beyond the scope of this class. All right. Okay. So you have seen that I have already run a Python program already in the terminal. But like I said, this is beyond the scope of this class. But if you want it extra, just if I get up to 20 people asking me for Visual Studio Code, I'll make a video. All right. So let's now go into the main reason why we are here, variables. What are variables? You say, I'm even tempted to continue with VS Code, but I will not because most of you will not have this VS Code. VS Code looks nicer and it's easier to work with, but I will continue with the IDLE. Okay, so if I go back to my IDLE, you see what I have here, this age. This age is what we call a variable. A variable is like an identifier, a name. All right. Now, I am going to get I'm going to get something from the user. The user will give me their age. So that age, I am storing it in this variable. All right. This equal to sign is actually telling Python, okay, whatever you get from here, all right, store it here. That's what this equal to sign is actually symbol is actually telling Python. So this age is a variable. It is a variable. All right. What is a variable? Now, your computer is made up of memory. Your computer has memory. And we work with data always. Just like now, I'm just asking the user for a data for their age. Is a data. Okay. So I need to store the data in the computer so that I can work with it later. Just like you can see, this is where I am now using the age. All right. I need to store it somewhere. So variables are like containers. Just like you put water in your container. Just like you put food in your plate. Just like you put food in your pot. Okay, variables are containers. What do they contain? They contain data. You will tell Python, please take this value, all right, store it somewhere for me in the computer, and whenever I want to use it, you give it to me. That is what we did here. We asked the user for their age, and they gave us their age, and we stored it here. And we now told Python, okay, please, we want to print a message to the user, but we want to make reference to the age. Just go and wherever you store the value in that, wherever you store it, go and bring it from the memory, and then I want to use it here. You can see I also use the age here too. So I stored the value here and I can use the variable anywhere. Like I use the name. Once I give Python the name of a variable, Python knows the memory location. Python will go to the memory location and fetch the data that is stored in the memory. Computers have memory and they store all the videos, all the games, all the music you have on your phone or on your laptop. It is stored in the computer memory. It is stored in the computer memory. Okay, so variables. A variable is a container used to store information, used to store data, used to store value. All right, it's a container. You're telling Python, please save this thing somewhere for me. I'm coming to collect this whenever I need it. I will use this name to remember what I want to do. And whenever you see this name, please go to the memory location, pick the value that you stored in that memory location, and bring it to me. So example is name is equal to Paulson. So what are we doing here? We are telling Python this value, the name Paulson, all right, store it somewhere in the memory and save it, the memory location, save it as name. So that is the identifier. All right. So whenever Python sees this name, it will go to the memory location and fetch the data stored in that memory location. You can also say another one, age is equal to 20. So this equal to symbol, you're telling Python whatever is on the right hand side, store it on the left hand side. Okay, but this left hand side, which is the variable, is actually a memory location. It's representing a memory location in the computer. Is student is equal to true. So we are still going to talk about data types. This anything you see inside double quote or single quote or triple quote is a string data type. Anything you see like a whole number or if a decimal number, they are number data type int or float. Okay. Anything you see like true or false is called Boolean. So, but we'll talk about that later. So what are the rules for naming your variables? Your variables must start with a letter or an underscore. It's a must. It's either it starts with a letter or it starts with an underscore. Okay? It's either it starts with a letter or it starts with an underscore. All right? You can see my own. My own here starts with a letter, age. A is a letter. I can also say underscore. But the thing is that I will make sure that I change all the references to underscore A. So this is also valid. If I save and run this code, it runs perfectly. Okay, it runs perfectly. But if I try to start this age with a number or anything at all that is not a letter or an underscore, if I try to start with a number right now, there will be a problem. It will not work. Python will tell me, no, you're violating my rules. I have some grammar. Remember in the last class, we talked about grammar, the rules for writing Python. Python is going to check every single thing you're writing letter by letter, character by character, and then put them together as tokens and stuff like that. So in this case, Python is going to say, no, you cannot start a variable with a digit. So if I try to save and run this code, now Python will throw an error for me. Python says invalid decimal literal, and it's pointing, look at it's telling me where I have the issue. So you cannot, Python will not allow you to start any variable name with anything other than a letter or an underscore. But after the letter or underscore, all right, it can contain any other thing. It can contain digits. It can contain any other thing. Okay, it can contain on it, not the pound symbol, please. Anything in the pound symbol is comment though. Okay, all right. So, but of course, we're going to give you rules on how to name your variables. Okay, so it cannot start with a number. You have already seen the error Python gave me. It should not have spaces between them. Spaces means they are two different things. So I cannot come and say a space age. If I save and run, Python will throw an error. Python will throw an error, invalid syntax. It's saying you're violating my grammar rules. All right, you're violating. Last time we talked about Python lexical structure. Okay, so it is case sensitive. Age and capital AGE, they are two different things. They are two different. It is case sensitive. What do I mean by case sensitivity? What do I mean by case sensitivity here? What do I mean by case sensitivity? Look at what I have here. I have age. Look at them. They are all in lower cases. Okay? They are all in lower cases. And then if I come here and come and say capital A, they are two different things. So they are casing. All right. The A there is lowercase and the other A is uppercase. It will not make sense. They are not the same thing. They are two different things. Okay? They are two different things. It's not the same thing. Okay? So that is about case sensitivity. All right? You have to watch, you have to watch the cases of your variable name. They have to be the same. If I go on now and save this and run F5, it's going to be a problem. Whenever I try to access it, it throws an error. It says, look at the error. It says age is not defined. Did you mean age? It's even trying to tell you where the error is coming from because this age, we didn't define it. It's not defined. We did not, there is nothing like age in our this thing. We did not have any variable called age. Okay? So it is case sensitive. So good variable names, first underscore name. So um, when you have two words, two more than two or three words that are supposed to be that go as a word, you use underscore to separate them. First name, use underscore to separate them. User age, use underscore to separate them. Is logged in, you use underscore to separate them. All those different words, use underscore to separate them. All right. So now let's talk about data types. Now, but the thing is this. If you want more explanation, you can see that I'm not actually giving. Um, I don't have time, so that is why I'm not explaining all these things in detail. But I'm going to show you the class that we have here. We broke them down into small chunks that will really help you to understand. So let me show you on our platform how the classes look like. I'll go to browse for course, and then, all right, while it's loading, okay. All right. I will continue. I will come back to that, okay? So data types. Python has several data types, but this week focuses on string data types. Anything, whenever you want to store a value that is like a text, a character, it is called, the data type is. So what is even data type? Data type. Data type. That means the type of the data. We work with different data. We work with music, we work with images, we work with videos, we work with digits, we work with numbers, we work with characters. These are different data types. So every data has a type. All right. So we have strings. A string stores text. So anything that has to do with text, all right, is a string data type. And the value, we store it in double quotes or single quote. So example is this. When I say greeting, greeting is the variable. Equal to is telling Python this hello, which is a string data type because it is inside of a double quote and it's a text. So store it inside of the greeting variable. So what we are talking about here, the data type we are storing in the greeting variable is hello. Okay. The data type we are storing in the greeting variable is hello. So this hello is is a string data type. It can be in double quotes, it can be in single quotes. Okay. All right. So name Sarah. Okay. Country Nigeria. You can see that the Nigeria now is in single quote. All right. So these are different string data types. They are string data types. Okay. So you can also perform some operations on string. The first operation is what we call concatenation. All right. You can combine two words together. So I can come here and say, maybe I can just get rid of this. So I can say, name is equal to, okay, I can go and say first name is equal to Paulson, and then last name is equal to Moha. Okay? So I can now come and concatenate. I can add these two words together. I can now call it full underscore name is equal to, I can come and say first name, first underscore name plus an empty string because I will need a space between the two of them, another plus last name. So this is string concatenation. I'm using the plus symbol. This is a string data type. This is another string data type, although it's an empty string, but it is in double quote. And then this is another string data type. So I'm using this to concatenate. So I can go on and now say print full name. Print full name. Okay. And then if I save and click on F5, it says pause in space one. So this is string concatenation. It is called string concatenation. Like I said, in our paid courses, we actually have all these things. We took time to explain them, but I'm just so sorry that I'm rushing things. So this is the Python web development and game development program. So you can see in week 1, we took time to explain some things here. Okay. Then in week 2, we now talked about variables. Okay. All right. So in these variables, you can see we have in the first day, we discussed variable basics. Second day, we discussed data types of variable. Third day, we discussed string basics. Fourth day, string operations and getting input out. So we took time to explain all these things in our paid course. Okay. But right now, what this one you're taking now is for free of charge. Okay. So if you cannot afford our paid program, no problem. Just manage this one, read the book, and then that would also serve you. So you can also do repetition. If you want a particular string or a particular text to repeat many times, you can do this. You can do something with it. So let me go and show you. You use the multiplication symbol to do that. I can go on and say full name *3. So if I go on now, this thing, if I click on F5, it will print person one, person one, person one. You can see. All right. So you can use the asterisk. You can use the asterisk to actually repeat test. So let's talk about numbers. We have two types of the numbers we have two main numeric types. We have the the integers, which these integers are whole numbers. Something like age is equal to 25, year is equal to 2025. So these are whole numbers. But if you want to work with decimal numbers, that one we call it floats. Okay, numbers with decimal is we call them floats. So let me go and give you some examples here. So I can say age is equal to 89. I can say pi is equal to 3. So the age is a number, the pi, all right, is a float. So, but they are both in the number category. And then we have the int and we have the float, okay? Like I said, we have more time to explain these things in our paid courses. You take your time to read them, study them, assignments, and stuff like that, okay? All right. So you can have, when you want to talk the height of a person, it can be 5.9. When you want to talk of price, it can be $12.50 or 12.50 naira or whatever it is. Okay. So these are the kind of things that can go as floats. So we can perform some arithmetic operations. Now, like I said, we have this arithmetic operation. We took time to explain them. This is just a few of them. We can do you can do addition, you can do subtraction, you can do multiplication, you can do division. There's another one with they also call integer division in Python. Okay, so but for me to really explain that, you really need to, it will take time. And but let me show you something. Let me just take all these things. Let's talk about the arithmetic. Okay, if I say print, or I can even just use okay, no problem. If I say print 8 plus 8, of course, it will give us what? To give us 16. Now, you see, this is the kind of thing you need to do because I want something very fast. This is the kind of things you do in your shell. So I'll just go and then, mm, okay, so I want to open my shell from here. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I will just do something and open my shell. I will just say print. Okay, I'll just print hello so that it will open my shell for me. I'll save, press F5, and then it put. So now this is what I mean. This is the shell. This is the interpreter. So if I say 8 plus 9, it will give me the arithmetic addition of 8. It will give me 17. I can say 3 minus 1. It will give me 2. I can say 4 times 9, it will give me 36. I can say 4 divided by 2, and it will give me 2. You see, this one now is called, this is the normal division in Python, but it will give you the result in decimal, like as a float, as a float data type. But if I want it to give me an integer data type as the result, I will use the double forward slash. I look at it. This is the difference. So the double forward slash is called integer division, while this one is the normal division in Python. Okay. I'm so sorry I do not have enough time to explain all these things in depth because this class shouldn't be more than 1 hour. So I'm trying to, it shouldn't even be more than 30 minutes, but so I'm trying to explain as much as I can explain. All right. So Booleans. Boolean is another data type. We have talked about strings. We have talked about integer and floats. So the next one is Boolean. So these are the basic. We also have other one like set, dictionary, tuple, and list. Okay, but we are not going to discuss them here. But in our other courses and our paid courses, we discuss them at length. So Boolean store true or false value. So whenever you find yourself saying yes or no, all right, whenever you find yourself saying yes or no, that means you need a Boolean value. true or false. But in Python or in computer programming, we don't have anything like yes or no, on or off. All right, we don't have something like that. It can only be true or false. Okay. So example is adult. So somebody can either be an adult or not an adult. So it's either true or false. Somebody can either be tired or not tired. It can either be true or false. So Booleans come from comparisons, conditions. I don't know if we have comparison or I don't know if we have operators in this syllable. Okay, but this is just 52 classes. So there's no way we could actually get everything in Python. So manage us, manage what you could get here, but we try our best. Okay. So, but if you want more, all right, we have our because we discuss comparison operators, the logical operators, we discuss all these things. We also discuss conditions. We also discuss conditions here. So when you say print 5 greater than 3, it's either true or false. Okay, so this operator now, the greater than symbol is an operator. Okay, so here we are comparing is 5 greater than 3. All right, we are comparing is 5 greater than 3. It's either true or false. So if I go on now, this is a comparison operator. We have the greater than, we have the less than, we have the. So if I say, okay, don't let me just go, let me use the interpreter. So if I say 5 greater than 3, it will give me true, right? Because 5 is greater than 3. If I say 3 greater than 7, it will give me false because 3 is not greater than 7. All right. So these are comparison operators. Okay. I don't know if we will have enough time to explain operators, but you always get Boolean values from comparison operators, from conditions, logical operator. This is where you actually use most them very well. So another comparison operator here is the double equal to. So we are saying is 10 equal to 5. 10 is not equal to 5, so the value will be false. So you can also get user input. You saw me using I made a mistake. I wanted to use the input function and then I used print, but you saw me correct it. So when you want to get information from a user, you use the input function. Don't worry, you will still learn about function. You will learn about function later on. All right, we'll definitely teach you function in this class. So if I want to get a user input, I want to ask the user for their I want to ask the user for their favorite food. I will use the input function. All right, inside of it, I'll put my double quote because I am going to send a message to the user, print a message on the screen for the user. I can say, what is your favorite food? Okay. Then the thing is this, you see this input function, not every function, some functions return something. So once the user enters their favorite food, this input function is going to return it. So as it's returning it, let us save it somewhere. We can just say food is equal to. So whatever it returns, we'll save it in this food variable. All right. So we can now go on and say, we can now print. We use print to display something for the user to see on the screen. So we can now use say print. I can use the F. You see this F, something I'm doing here. We explained it. So when we talked about, because we didn't have enough time to talk more about the string basic operations and talk about strings in details. I don't know how to explain this, but okay, now you can type along whatever I'm typing. You can say F, then the double quote. I can now say your favorite food is, then I will use this what's it called again? These square braces, and then I will now put food inside of it. Okay, when we talk about strings, like when we explain strings, we explain all these things, but I can't talk about them here. All right. So your favorite food is this. I will save it, run F5. You say, what is your favorite food? I will say rice. I don't even know if rice is my favorite food. It says your favorite food is rice. Okay. Now, there's another way of doing this thing. I can still remove this F. All right. Then I will now say your favorite food is, I will complete the double quote here. I will do comma, but I will no longer I will remove these curly braces and something like this. So this is also valid. There are different ways of working with the string, especially with the print method. Okay, so this would also work if I save it now and press F5. You say, what's your favorite food? And I'll say beans. It print it. Your favorite food is beans. Okay, like I said, I'm so sorry I don't have enough time to explain too much here, but we explain in details in our paid courses. So you have seen me use the input already. What is your name? I used it before. Now I use it here to get the user's favorite name. So whenever you want to get input data from a user, you must use the input function. Now here we are asking the user for their age. How old are you? They will tell us. Okay. Now everything collected from the input is stored as a string. So the input function returns something, but the data type of the data it is returning is a string. So you will have an error if you're trying to use whatever the input return for arithmetic. So all you have to do, you need to convert it to integer. I don't have enough time to talk about type conversions in this class, but these are the kind of things we take time, break them down to explain in our paid courses. Okay. So your project, your week one project is this. Okay, the goal is to create a program that asks the user for details about themselves. Remember, if you want to get something from the user, what do? You use the input function, then you save it in a variable. Okay, so ask the user for details about themselves, store them in variables, and print a summary of it. So I would love to do this for you, but I want you to do it yourself. If you cannot do it well, you can contact me. I will show you there. Don't worry, I will actually show you how to do it. You can drop it in the comment section. I will show you exactly how to do it. You can ask for if you want my WhatsApp number, and ask for it in the comment section. I will drop it for you. Okay. So this is your assignment. Now, this is what the output will look like. What is your name? The user will say Paulson. How old are you? The user will say 20. Where do you live? The user will say Lagos. What is your favorite food? The user will say rice. And then this is what you're going to print out. You will say, nice to meet you, Paulson. Okay. You will say you are 20 years old. Okay. You will now say you live in Lagos. You will now say your favorite food is rice. So this is your assignment. All right. Um, you are going to write your code to ask the user for their name, ask them for their age, ask them for where they live, ask them for their favorite food. Once you do that, you will now come down and print these messages for them. Nice to meet you. You will now use the username, their name. You are their age, years old. You live in their where they live and their favorite food. So, but let me give you some small expo. Okay, so this is you can type this thing exactly the way it is right now. You can type it. Okay, you can type this in exactly the way it is. You can let me help you. So the first one we say, what is your name? This is the code. All right, just make sure you type it exactly the way it is and run it, and make sure you run it well. If it is working, I want you to drop in the comment section, oh, that wow, it is working. Okay. All right. You ask them of their age, you ask them of their location. This is just the code. Just type exactly what we have here, and then you ask them for their favorite food. So now this is the continuation. You will now print hyphen, sorry, you will now print forward slash, backward slash, and here is what I know about you. You print hello, the person's name, you are age years old. Just do exactly what you're saying. Okay. You live in location, your favorite food is this. So let me show you again. You start with this one. All right. Enter this code in your code editor. All right. Then enter this one the way it is in your code editor, sorry, and then you run it. Okay, so thank you very much. You can pause it and type the code, and then I will see you in the next week. Thank you very much and have a great weekend.